team is maybe where you thought it would be? Is it lower than where you thought it'd be, or how does that mesh?
I didn't project out as far as where we were and where I thought we would be. Somebody asked me about, I always go into every game thinking that we'll put together a game plan, we'll win. And that's the way, and each day I've just tried to prepare as best I can, and we've tried to use every day. I think Wooden said, make each day your masterpiece. You're trying to do the best you can. How have I handled it? There's no recipe. There wasn't anything, any formula. There wasn't anything. I've just tried to draw on experience and also try to do the right thing. Treat people the right way. Focus on the correct, on what's important, and help these guys grow as a team. Try to keep it in perspective for them, too. Without selling them short, let them know that they've got a very bright future, but we can't sell out the present for that. We know we're going to be better because we're going to continue to work, but making sure we're as good as we can be today. So, and I say, see, but it's anybody that I love where, and that's the beauty of athletics. We don't know how it's going to end. People love to watch athletic events because you don't know the end. It's the great. And I think of all the great stories of the underdog. I think of the Ali Foreman fight. Few people picked Ali, but he was so clever and did such a great job, and was able to win that fight. We can go on and on talking about those great stories. Cinderella Man was a great story, and so on. So those are fun, and when you're not picked to be the favorite, then your option is to make the best of it and overcome those odds.
Several of your players have said in the last few weeks that it's not fair to you that after what's happened the last couple of years, where you basically are starting over every year. And with that in mind, will you, as a staff, meet with your players and make sure everyone's on board sometime soon after the season? So
we meet every day, and we talk every day, and we talk about what we're trying to accomplish as a team. We talk all the time. They know. They also know. I read a quote in the latest Dungy book. I think it was by Chuck Noll. I'll have to paraphrase it, but it's something to the effect that the mercenaries beat the draftees, but the volunteers crush them both. And I thought it was a pretty good quote. And I think that you got to have people that are in. And it's hard. These guys, no fault of theirs, they've been forced into that higher level before they've been able to, let's face it, most freshmen shouldn't, they should be able to get their feet wet. They should have an upperclassman directing them and showing them, and they should be getting some minutes, but not to the point where you're depending totally on them. And they're having to learn during that time. I think that's the hardest part. I'm coaching them during that competition. And now they've got somebody directing them and coaching them, and they're trying to compete against this high level. I think that those two things together make it a difficult and make it a struggle instead of being able to just play. But what the situation is that it's no different than any other class. You're trying to raise their level of awareness and their abilities, and so that they're playing at the kind of level that they can play at, where they can compete in the Big Ten. So, we'll continue to direct them. We'll continue to tell them where we're going, why we chose them, and why we think that they can lay the foundation. They know the group that we have coming in, but ultimately it's on the individual whether they decide to persevere and endure it and continue to invest with with the vision that we have or not. And I don't foresee any of these guys not doing that, but I said this a while back, been in it long enough that nothing surprises me anymore.
Do you have a deadline or something? Because you obviously would have to maybe change
No, I don't have I don't,
recruiting.
you can't really have a deadline. I mean, the NCAA allows people to transfer. I've never experienced that. The only time I've ever experienced the kind of transfers that we have here in the last couple of years is when we haven't won. It was one time, but for the most part, it's people have continued to commit and continue to meet their responsibilities and stay in town.
When you say you don't